their experience and reason and passed on from one generation to the next. They don't believe that. They believe the government dispenses and disperses rights. We believe rights come before government. The government exists to uphold and secure our unalienable rights. They believe the individual can only fully realize his potential through the so-called public interest. Who decides that? A relative handful of people. What's best? They get this from Rousseau and Hegel and Marx, among others. We believe the individual is the sovereign, that the government isn't the sovereign. We, the individual. The government exists to protect the individual, and it exists at the behest of the people. We, the sovereign. Where do we get that from? Locke, Montesquieu, the framers, and so many more. They believe a divided government with separation of powers, as our Constitution provides, is a dysfunctional government, incapable of serving the needs of a quickly evolving modern country. Decision-making must be centralized and made by a class of experts and masterminds, or specially educated and trained civil servants, to determine not only what's best for the country, but that the decision or the policies are enforced throughout the country. Woodrow Wilson, and many of the early scholars, late 1800s, early 1900s, of the so-called progressive Europe, the early American Marxists. This is what they preach. We believe a divided government with separation of powers, as Montesquieu argued, as Locke argued, and Aristotle argued, is best suited to protect the rights and the liberties of the individual, their free will, and the knowledge, experience, and expertise that flows from their interactions into the whole of society. So the pieces make the whole.
Where's he going,
The
Don?
whole doesn't control the pieces.
I tend diabetic, so I just want to make sure that there's somebody behind him, not too
People
far.
aren't perfect.
It's very challenging.
Therefore, they must be controlled.
At least the 49.
Not by a just law,
Okay, cool, right on, thanks. I think everything's fine, but...
not by a representative government. They must be controlled. This is their They must be controlled
Brilliant, thank you, sir.
by a relative handful of people who know what they're doing, who know what's best. We don't know how they know what's best or how they know what they're doing.